There's a charismatic pastor who I would like to alert you about, but because I'm trying to get away from naming names about people, especially people who are in an ambiguous category, make up your own mind about it. What if I were to tell you that there's a charismatic pastor who doesn't think it's wrong to go on Joni and Friends on Daystar because he gets a $5,000 honorarium and he gets to promote his ministry in front of millions of people on TV? What if I were to tell you that even though he knows that Daystar is being investigated for a pedophile investigation, he still went on there with full knowledge anyway in order to get that $5,000 honorarium and promote his ministry in front of millions of people on TV? Now, step one, he did that. Okay. Step two, he hasn't apologized about it. Step three, I've called him to account for it. Step four, he knows I called him to account for it. Step five, he just preached a sermon to defend himself. And this is what he said. He said, I'm being persecuted for righteousness by this guy who's calling my conscience to account. This is why I'm being persecuted for righteousness. I don't know that there is a pedophile in the Daystar family because the police haven't come out with an official report yet. Number two, I'm a pastor of a church and I got a big influential ministry. And who are you? Some kid in some mom's basement with no influence? Look at me, big charismatic guy with lots of influence. Look at me, God's anointed me. Ooh, look how anointed and how much influence I have. Look, I wrote a book about having influence. Number six, okay? So after being a braggart and self-righteously justifying himself, he concludes to another step in which he says this: it's mean to say all of these things. And then he says, number seven, he says, I got so much to do. I'm too busy being a pastor. What do you got? I don't have all the time to spend all my time on wesleygospel.com researching and evaluating everybody else's stuff because I'm too busy doing my own thing. That's why I went on Daystar to get a $5,000 honorarium. That's why I promoted my ministry in front of 6 billion people, because I'm too busy being a pastor to find out whether or not the people I just ate dinner with really did molest their child in their family. That's why he thinks he's being persecuted for righteousness. So that's the line of thinking. That's his case he put out before the Lord. And now the Lord's going to have to respond to that. Now the Lord's going to have to respond to that. Stay tuned.